stay right there because it's time now. Built for Success by Ram Trucks. We want to get into what is going to be a marquee week for the Big 12. I don't want to focus on that game too much just yet, because you've got other schools. You've got Oregon State ranked. You've got UCLA ranked. You've got Washington State ranked. USC.
Yeah.
Because I think USC is not the same class as Oregon and Washington.
That's a fair assessment because you look at their defense. But Caleb Williams keeps them in every single game. Like the defense, 92nd against the run, 112th against the pass. They bat in gaps, miss tackles, but they're still undefeated. And so my point is that Caleb Williams has found ways to, despite the defense, overcome. And then when it matters the most, the defense finds a way to make a play, like that triple overtime stop. And so you're right, like defensively and from a team perspective, different class, but sometimes Caleb found ways to overcome.
We're going to move to Oregon, Washington in a second, but Barry says he sees 2 losses on the rest of that USC schedule. Are you there too?
Man, I can't.
Oregon, Washington,
Utah.
UCLA ranked, Utah.
I think the only 2 could be the Oregon and Washington.
Back-to-back weeks.
UCLA may be ranked, but they got a freshman quarterback, Dante Moore, throwing pick sixes. Utah just lost to Oregon State a couple weeks ago. Utah's not in the same class. Cam Rising may or may not come back this year. But you talk about Oregon, you talk about Washington. Those are the teams that could challenge USC. But at the same token, USC could challenge them, right? Caleb Williams is putting up great numbers, but what if he has an even newer, better Heisman moment, right? Look, that's brutal.
Man.
That's brutal.
So, built for the gauntlet, better, Oregon or Washington?
This one hurts me because I'm wearing green.
I think Washington, you're wrong.
I think Washington is better built for the gauntlet.
You do?
I do.
I don't.
I went back and started watching. We all talk about Washington's offense, how great they are. I started going back and watching Washington's defense, and I started being impressed. Yes, Michael Penix, he's the highlight, 446 passing yards, Heisman Trophy favorite. But it's a dude named Braylon Trice, who's a defensive end number 8, led all of college football in pressures last year. Right? Didn't have the sack numbers just yet, but they're coming. A defensive tackle on the inside, 91. Tuli Lasanoa, some dogs, some 6'3", 290, dudes there, 6'5". Oregon's going to try and run the ball. I don't know if they'll be able to run the ball on these big, bad Huskies.
Okay, let's flip it from defense to offense. We're talking Heisman conversation here, and both teams have guys who are in that conversation and are at the forefront of that conversation. Who do you like better at quarterback? Is it Bo Nix or is it Michael Penix Jr.?
It's Penix. It's got to be Penix, right? Yeah. Bo Nix does have a higher completion percentage, leads college football, but Michael Penix Jr. is just doing things differently. Like he wants to take bombs, throw bombs nonstop. 446 passing yards, we talked about it. Number 1 passing offense, we talked about it. But no one's really watched him yet, and I think everyone's going to get a chance to see him on a national stage. They play in late games, et cetera, et cetera. Well, not anymore, man. You're playing Oregon and all the other teams we talked about. You're going to get USC later. You're going to get Oregon State, all these teams. Penix is a dude. Like, he's just that dude, and he's been injured the last few years. Well, now he's finally healthy. He was healthy last year, was injured the 4 years before that, and he's showing off his stuff. So I think that Michael Penix Jr. is, when it comes to Heisman, the favorite, and if he gets this win and keeps on winning, I think he will be.
I've talked to a couple of coaches on some staffs that have played Washington, and they've said up front, they're not what you would think.
The offensive line, you mean?
Both.
Oh, okay.
They think that they're gettable up front.
Okay.
Which is why in this one, Oregon, I think, is the most complete team.
Okay.
I think Washington's the world lead offensively.
Yep.
They've got that advantage, but Oregon plays defense.
Are we sleeping on Oregon's defense? I mean, they're top 5 in the nation. They 12 points per game.
I think we're too awake on their defense.
Oh, really?
Straight up. Yes, dude.
Because they haven't played.
They haven't really played. They haven't been challenged. Like, I went back and you go watch Stanford. Oh, man, look at this game against Stanford. Stanford doesn't have the weapons that Washington has. Their biggest challenge was Texas Tech, right? Oh, they played Colorado. Colorado didn't have Travis Hunter. They won that game 42-6. It wasn't even close. But Colorado didn't have their full array of weapons. And so I think that Oregon, Dan Lanning is a dominant defensive mind, right? From Georgia, he's their head coach at Oregon. But I'm just saying they haven't been truly tested. This will be their biggest test.
Does the winner come out of this game? Does the conference champion come out of this game? It's going to be a lot like the Big 12, I think. It's going to be first 2 meetings.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Barry. I think the winner of this game gets to the conference championship, obviously. But now you got to go face either this team again or maybe it's a USC team. I do think the winner of this game, dang, this is hard. It's very Big 12-ish, right? Right?
It is.
Oklahoma beats Texas. Maybe they meet again. Maybe the other team avenges their loss. winner goes. I can't say that the winner of this team wins the Pac-12.
I don't know if he gave us a call, but who's winning the game?
Give me you, Dub.
Give me something.